Welcome to the Business Book Awards 2020, celebrating the best in business books. Good evening. Please get yourself a drink and adjust your seat. The show is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, authors, publishers, entrepreneurs and influencers, welcome to the Business Book Awards 2020, an evening to celebrate the best in business books. Now, before we start, I would like to encourage you all to invite your contacts to join you in watching this incredible celebration, and feel free to share pictures in the comments section and on other social media platforms. Our social media hashtag for tonight is hashtag BBA2020. To kickstart this evening, we have a special message from the founder of the Business Book Awards, Lucy McCarraher.
Good evening and welcome to the Business Book Awards 2020. We're not exactly where we planned to be in the sumptuous surroundings of a central London hotel, but the upside is that far more of you can join us online as we announce the winners of our 10 entry categories, our special award category, and the overall Business Book of the Year. I absolutely believe that especially in these uncertain and difficult times, business books have a very special role to play. They transmit valuable information from experts and exponents of best practice to businesses of all shapes and sizes across the world, especially now when we may not be able to do so in person. They change the conversation and the environment in which business can survive, thrive and grow. They represent a vital and important publishing niche. In the first and second years of the Business Book Awards, we received about 150 entries, so we thought that was our default position. This year, we also received about 150 entries before Christmas, but in the week following and up to the entry deadline of the 31st of December, a load more books and forms poured in, and we've had almost 270 entries this year. This means our judges have worked their socks off to shortlist 73 books, and really tough decisions had to be made because the standard was so high. So a massive thanks to our wonderful head judge, Alison Jones, who has once again managed the complex assessment process with grace, integrity, and general loveliness. Thank you, Alison. And of course, I want to extend my thanks to all our super hardworking judges whose knowledge and experience across the worlds of business, books, and publishing has been so generously given. Thank you, judges. If you were at the awards last year, you may remember that I made a plea for more women to write and publish their business books. In both previous years, we had approximately 100 entries from men and 50 from women authors. I said I was on a mission to get 50 more women to enter the Business Book Awards to even up the gender gap. Well, I could not be more pleased to say that 50 more women have entered their books this year. So we've had almost 100 entries from female authors. Fantastic, and congratulations to all of you. However, we also had an extra 70 entries from men, and that's also fantastic, and congratulations to all of you too. But that means that the percentage of female authors entering the Business Book Awards is up from 30% in the first 2 years to 40% this year. And I'm still gunning for a 50-50 split next year. Last year, with our focus on increasing female participation, we had a special award for an exceptional book by a woman. This year, we've concentrated on diversity in its broadest sense. Our entries, books and authors have written about more diverse subjects, including that of equality and diversity. Our judging panel is more diverse than ever, and our special award this year is for an exceptional book that promotes diversity. We are incredibly grateful to our sponsors and partners, to our brand sponsors and our category sponsors. Thank you for supporting the Business Book Awards and helping to make them happen for the 3rd year running. Without sponsors, awards can't function. And I want to thank all of you who are here with us tonight to celebrate our shortlisted authors and to hear who the winners are. Your support and involvement makes the Business Book Awards what they are. Please cheer us along by posting selfies and your reactions in the comments so we can all feel the love, even if we can't be together in person. Finally, my biggest thanks go to the incredible ThinkFest team, who at the very last moment, when it became clear that we weren't going to be able to host the party they had put so much time and effort and expertise into planning, have managed to transform the complex arrangements of a glittering dinner and event into an exciting online evening. Kasim Chowdhury, Brad Edwards, Hannah Patel and Edwin Ladd, as ever, you are magnificent events and awards organisers, fabulous to work with, and you bring a touch of magic to every part of the Business Book Awards. I hope you all have a fantastic time tonight as we reveal the winners of the Business Book Awards 2020. And I'm going to hand over to Kasim now to say a few words before we start.
Good evening everyone, and thank you for joining us for the live broadcast of the Business Book Awards 2020. Now, as you all know, this event is taking place in unprecedented circumstances, and actually over the last month I've had to think about all the different things that are involved in my business, and actually in doing so I've had to look at some of the fantastic books that we've had shortlisted and entered for the Business Book Awards this year, to look for guidance, to look for knowledge, to look for experience, and to look for ways that I can manage my business in these uncertain times. And that's when it hit me that actually the Business Book Awards is so important for businesses today, because it's the knowledge and the messages that you share in your books that are going to help businesses deal with the uncertain times we're in. I myself have felt the pressure. I myself have had to deal with some very difficult situations, but I'd like to thank everyone for their support, especially all of the authors and publishers that purchased tickets to attend the event, and for everyone that's tuned in this evening to watch this video. I'd also like to thank everyone that recorded their acceptance speeches. Even though you knew that they may not be shown this evening, you still made the effort to dress up, hold a glass of champagne in your hand and make a toast to the Business Book Awards. And I'd like to thank you all for that, because if there's one thing that's kept me going over the past week, it's just watching those videos and watching your stories and seeing that I somewhere may be able to make that small difference in supporting you on your business journey. Now, I just want to say a few thanks. I don't want to keep you here too long. I know you're all anxious to see who's won and who hasn't. First of all, a huge thanks to Lucy Makara for her support in delivering the Business Book Awards. I can honestly say that there would not be a Business Book Awards without Lucy and all of the hard work and effort she puts into it. I'd also like to thank all of our sponsors, partners, for their help and support. But most importantly, I want to thank my team. I want to thank Brad for being the rock in my life right now, constantly there supporting me, always there to pick up on things that I've missed out. I'd like to thank Neha, who was an events intern that joined our business in January and played a huge part in assisting us in managing over 270 entries that came in. I'd like to thank Hannah for all of her fantastic graphics that I'm sure you're all enjoying and sharing. And also I'd like to thank Kuram for putting together this fantastic video this evening. So before I leave, I just want to say a huge congratulations to every single person that entered a book into this year's awards. You are a winner because you've been able to publish your book, and that in itself is a challenge. Good luck to everyone that's been shortlisted. I wish you all the best, but this could not have happened without our esteemed judging panel, headed by Alison Jones, who has the toughest job out of all of us to make sure that we produce a fair and reasonable judging process. So without further ado, I'd like to leave you with a short video from Judging Day. Thank you.
Well, it's been amazing. The last 2 years we had 150 entries, 2 years running exactly the same, and we thought, well, that's the number then, that's what we can expect. So this year, well, in fact last year now, just before Christmas, we had 150 entries, so we thought, yep, there we are, bang on, exactly. And then in the week almost between Christmas and New Year, from Boxing Day on, our entries just poured in, and we've got 270 in total this year.
People work to deadlines, it seems. Well, our judging process, we've been doing this for 3 years now, and we have a really well-organised, experienced team of judges for whom we are massively grateful.
Oh,
They
fantastic.
do a fantastic job. So they are sort of well-oiled machine. I don't know if we could have accommodated this many in year one, but by now that process, the two-phase process, the shortlisting and then the reading of the books from the shortlist for the final selection of the winner, are just, everybody knows exactly what they're doing, and it's going really well. We're going around the groups, everybody knows exactly what they're doing, and yeah, it's going great.
It's fantastic to see the range and the quantity of business books, because we're so passionate about business leaders, learning from other business leaders, and you need to be even more effective nowadays with the current climate. So there's some wonderful wisdom in the room.
It's been brilliant, actually. You know, last year I was actually on the other side. I was actually shortlisted, my own book was shortlisted. This time it's been great to see the process, how it works, and there's actually some fantastic books that have been submitted, so it's been really good.
The overall standard has been a bit surprising for us, because this year I was a judge participating in the short business book, so we thought initially, well, this is going to be an easier one, thinking that size matters, but actually it doesn't.
The quality, I would say the quality had improved this year. Really, there were some really good books in there that it was either I want to read this book, or actually I want to pass this book on to someone. This is something good. Yes.
The category that I was judging today with my fellow judges was the business self-development category. There were exceptional books in this category. We had to read over 25 books.
We did have some differences and disparity between us, and we discussed those, try to arrive at a consensus, because sometimes I might see something that others would have missed, or I might have missed something that others have seen, and then through that conversation, through that dialogue, through that discussion and debate, we got to a point that we were all happy.
Diversity is a broad subject, a very emotive one, political one, social one and sensitive one. And so we were conscious of all the different ways in which diversity can be viewed as judges. So we had to look at each view that was written in the books and presenting the books on their own merit.
We also had some entries that surprised us as well. There were a few areas in diversity, whether it was about disability and technology, thinking about how you can include more people and how companies were missing out on tricks. But there were also some other really good books that showed you what a diverse and inclusive organisation should look like and gave you the necessary practical ideas and toolkits. So there were some brilliant books that made it through to the shortlist.
Some were more about the lighter things you could do, perhaps to bring balance as a leader, and doing the softer things that are going to benefit leadership and culture. And then there were some more heavy topics that were specifically content matter expertise, I suppose. So generally, really good quality.
The books that I am interested in reading didn't necessarily come out as being my top books, in the top 6. So that was quite an interesting process to go through. But it also, I think, shows that the process is really substantial and not biased.
Yeah, it was harder than I anticipated. But what you have to do is put your own thoughts about what you like to one side and just look at the quality, the quantity, what the books are showing you, what they're helping you to achieve. Are they achieving what they set out to? So actually the three of us had really good fun.
As an author myself, I had that empathy and that kind of, I could really relate to the time, the energy and the quality of the work that we've judged today. Was it what I expected? Yes, to a degree, but it's been really insightful seeing that amount of books, seeing the variety.
The books I've seen today are insightful, inspiring,
Creativity,
human voice,
Inspirational,
Very future focused,
definitely niche,
Intelligent,
educational.
mind-blowing.
The Startup Inspiration Book 2020.
Good evening. I'm Eleanor Vetrano, and I'm the Programme Director and Head Coach of Aston Business School's Business Enterprise Development Programmes. Aston Business School is proud to support the Business Book Awards and the Startup Inspiration category. This category has great resonance for the work we do in the Business Enterprise Development degrees, because our students work as teams to set up and run successful companies. They use these businesses as a vehicle for their own learning, so startup inspiration is core to their journey. And tonight, I don't just represent the Business Enterprise Development Programmes, I'm also here representing our very first team company, Universtocks. Now let's see the shortlist.
The Startup Inspiration Book 2020 category finalists are How to Have a Happy Hustle by Beck Evans, Let's Get Visible by Sapna Peru, Making Your Mark by Mark Mills, Startups, Pivots and Pop-Ups by Richard Hall and Rachel Bell, The Formula for Success by Samuel Leach, and True Profit Business by Karen Skidmore.
The highly commended book is Let's Get Visible by Sapna Peru. The judges chose to highly commend this book because they felt that it was full of good ideas for creating, developing and clarifying your brand. The author is clearly an expert in her field, and she takes the reader through an original and structured process. Like the winner, it was an enjoyable read and full of plenty of illustrative examples and actionable steps.
Hi everyone, it's Sapna Peru here, author of Let's Get Visible. This is just amazing. Thank you so much everyone, and in particular I'd like to thank Lucy, Joe and the team at Rethink, my husband Andy, and my boys Luke and Leon for all their support, clients that made it possible, that encouraged me and that appeared in the book and that beta read the book, everyone that supported me along the journey, and of course the team at the Business Book Awards for making this, and the judges for voting for me. Lots of people there. I wrote the book because I genuinely want to help entrepreneurs and business owners get brand clarity, stand out in their industry and supercharge their business growth. So I hope the book helps you, and thank you very much for this award. Thanks, bye.
Cheers.
The winner is How to Have a Happy Hustle by Beck Evans. The judges chose How to Have a Happy Hustle as the winner because it was packed full of ideas, tips and advice. More than that though, while some books feel like a brain dump of random stuff, all the advice, stories and even the quotes hang together in a structured process, from having ideas to honing them and then to making them happen. The book was an enjoyable read, and unlike some books that just touch on a range of subjects, it really felt like it dived deep, enough to tell you something of relevance beyond the surface detail in each chapter.
The Sales and Marketing Book 2020.
Good evening, I'm Steve Oddie, founder of ScoreApp. I'm proud to support the Business Book Awards and sponsor the Sales and Marketing category. ScoreApp is a new lead generation platform that we've specifically created for business authors to help you turn your readers into customers. Check it out at scoreapp.com. Now let's see the shortlist.
The Sales and Marketing Book 2020 category finalists are Authority by Rob Stewart, Dynamic Digital Marketing by Dawn McGruer, Get Online by Stacey Kehoe, I Am My Brand by Kubi Springer, Influence by Sarah McCorquodale, Omnichannel Retail by Tim Mason with Maya Knights, PR for Humans by Mike Sargent, Press Start by Daniel Griffin and Albert van der Meer, and Your Business, Your Book by Ginny Carter.
The highly commended book in this category is Influence by Sarah McCorquodale. The judges felt Sarah McCorquodale's book is a fascinating guide to the world of digital influencers, rich with case studies and insights. Her accessible but authoritative tone of voice brings the people behind every example to life, and she is adept at weaving these stories into her arguments and enriching the reader's understanding. This is a book that will be enjoyed by anyone who is interested in how influencers have shaped digital marketing and what this may mean for the industry in the future. It unpacks a significant cultural phenomenon in an approachable way that will appeal to a much wider audience than simply the business community.
Hi, this is Sarah McCorquodale and I am the author of Influence. It's such a great honour to have won the award. I'd like to thank my publisher Ian Holsworth at Bloomsbury and my agent Zoe King at AM Heath, and my baby Jonah who was born 2 weeks after I filed the manuscript. I wrote the book because I thought that an investigation into influencer marketing would be really helpful for businesses, and you know, people who wanted to learn how to market their products and their brand in an interesting way. Thank you very much.
And the winner is Your Business, Your Book by Ginny Carter. Practical inspiration. Ginny's book is a classic, it does what it says on the can. This book has the nuts and bolts, tools and tactics of all that you need to get you from idea to published book. It's engaging to read, full of helpful ideas, and Ginny generously shares the details of her experience in this space. Well written, accessible and well structured. with valuable takeaways to help anyone go from reader to writer.
Hello, it's Ginny Carter here, author of Your Business, Your Book. I'm just so thrilled to have won this award. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all the hard work that the judges have put in. I know from previous experience what that entails, and I can't tell you how grateful I am. And I wanted to say thanks as well to my publisher, Practical Inspiration, for doing such a wonderful job with the book. I think the best description that I've ever heard of what it's like to write a book is that it's the hardest thing you can do sitting down. And I'm sure absolutely everybody here can completely relate to that. And really what I wanted to do with my guide to writing a business book was to make it less hard, to make it into the enjoyable, productive and worthwhile experience that I know it to be. So thank you again, I'm truly thrilled, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening.
The HR and Management Book 2020.
Good evening and hello everybody. I'm Safraz Ali Saf, the head of Pathway Group. Pathway Group are proud to support the Business Book Awards and in particular the HR and Management category. We're a business for the last 20 years has been upskilling and reskilling individuals with level 2 and level 3 qualifications, which is mainly people who are at the front line and ground level. Pathway wish to encourage organisations and individuals pushing the boundaries of people's strategy, and what better way to do this than our association with ThinkFest and the Business Book Awards. Now let's take a look at the shortlist.
The HR and Management Book 2020 category finalists are Boards by Patrick Dunn, Competitive People Strategy by Kevin Green, Driving Performance Through Learning by Andy Lancaster, Leading for Organizational Change by Jennifer Emery, Strategic Human Resource Management by Karen Bevan, and The Robot Proof Recruiter by Katrina Collier.
The highly commended book is Driving Performance Through Learning by Andy Lancaster. As you're aware, the way in which workplace learning has traditionally been delivered is under pressure as a result of new technology and changes in the workplace. This book is comprehensive, covering every aspect of workplace learning that an LD professional would need to know. It includes practical examples, comprehensive guides, case studies, models and points for reflection. It will help any organisation redefine their approach to learning and provide strategic direction to transform their workplace learning.
Hi everyone, I'm Andy Lancaster, the author of Driving Performance Through Learning. When I set out to write, the sole focus was on supporting people professionals to move from the widespread addiction to face-to-face courses to facilitating learning directly in the flow of work. So additionally, winning a Business Book Award is both welcome and humbling, especially when I look at the other amazing books in the category. In winning, thanks to all of the Business Book Awards for the hard work in creating this prestigious event. Also thanks to All at Cogan Page, my publishers, for getting the book to print. Also like to thank my family for their support and sacrifice of shared time in our very busy lives. And finally, thanks to my employer, the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development, who provide the environment to push the boundaries in learning. One of the nicest pieces of feedback I've had is from a reader who said that through the book, she co-created a radical new organisational learning approach. That's an amazing outcome. In closing, in the TV series Cosmos, Carl Sagan reflects, writing is perhaps the greatest of human inventions, binding together people who never knew each other. A book is proof that humans are capable of working magic. So why not write a book and create some magic? Thank you very much.
The winner is Boards by Patrick Dunn. Boards sets out to produce something practical, realistic, thought-provoking and useful on life both inside and outside the boardroom, and this it has achieved. For a topic that normally is very dry and often focusing on legals, this is very different. It's an easy read, it delivers invaluable advice with practical, real-life case studies that enable the reader to better understand the challenges of working at board level. Whether you're new or an experienced board member or someone supporting board members, this is an invaluable guide that will enable, empower and enrich your contribution. At a time when it is recognized that we need more diversity on our boards, this book provides insight of the challenges that boards face and, more importantly, how to solve those challenges.
My name is Patrick Dunn and I'm the author of Boards. I'd like to thank the organisers for this fantastic but somewhat surreal evening and the awards itself. I'd like to thank my publisher Leslie Stevenson for her inspiration in getting this done from governance. I'd like to thank my mum, who's been a constant source of inspiration throughout my life, and my amazing wife Rebecca, who's just been a brilliant support in enabling me to do this. I wrote this book because I think there's a gap in the market. I think there's a need for something practical which can serve as a companion for those of us on boards trying to do the best that we possibly can. We're being tested like never before with this current situation, and I hope many of the things in here will be useful to people as they navigate through this crisis. Thank you very much.
The Sustainable Change Book 2020.
Hello, good evening everyone. My name is Ket Patel. I'm the UK co-leader at the Change Management Institute here in the UK. And it's my pleasure to be supporting the Business Book Awards and the Sustainable Change category. For those of you that don't know this, the Change Management Institute is a not-for-profit voluntary organisation dedicated to supporting business change and transformation specialists with their continued learning and development. As a community, we bring together our members to help drive experiences that help them build their connections with their members, to help build their credibility and capability through the excellent speakers we bring to them through our events. Over the past few weeks, we've met all of the inspiring speakers and authors in our category, and we have had an excellent chance to look at what they have written and share that amongst our members and inspire them to write their own books. So let's look at the finalists.
The Sustainable Change Book 2020 category finalists are A Line by Jonathan Trevor, Culture Shift by Kirsty Bashforth, The Big Zero by Chris Timmermans, Chris Rourke and Rodrigo Abdallah, The Customer Catalyst by Chris Adlard and Daniel Borsa, The Ethical Business Book by Sarah Duncan, and The Human Edge by Greg Orme.
The highly commended book in this category is The Ethical Business Book by Sarah Duncan. The judges felt this book tackled a very important topic covering more depth than immediately apparent. They found it easy to read with some great templates and suggestions for further work and references that inspire the reader to explore further. It's written in an easy to absorb style with clear learnings and insights that will help towards a significantly improved bottom line whilst delivering ethical business practices. And the winner is The Human Edge by Greg Orme. The judges found this a very easy and enjoyable read. The section on the human challenge raised a lot of questions in their minds, which in the follow-up section The Human Edge answers. The author illustrates their points with examples from the world of business, from history and from personal situations. This, coupled with the human experiment, embed the learning points. Not only did this book help them to learn and better understand concepts in artificial intelligence, it also encouraged them to think about the future in new ways. On behalf of the CMI, congratulations to Greg Orme, the author of The Human Edge.
Hello, Greg Orme, author of The Human Edge here. Oh, sorry, that's not The Human Edge, that's my most prized possession. I must really put that back in the safe. This is The Human Edge. This is the book I wrote, and I'd like to say I'm so grateful and thankful that my work has been honoured in this way. I've got a few thanks of my own. I'd like to thank my publisher, Pearson. I'd like to thank my colleagues all over the world, and of course my clients. I learn everything from those guys. I wrote this book for anybody who wants to future-proof their career in a world of technological disruption and machines. And of course, we're seeing the world now being disrupted like it's never been before. You need to respond in a creative and curious way. It's more important now than it's ever been. I like to think of The Human Edge as a subversive handbook. You can keep it underneath your desk and ignite your human superpowers even without the permission of your boss. So, cheers from me, thanks very much, and I'll see you soon.
The Leadership for the Future Book 2020.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Susie Ramroop, a judge for the Leadership of the Future category at this year's Business Book Awards. Firstly, I'd like to thank Lord Mark Price and Engaging Works for their support with the awards and specifically this category.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mark Price, the founder of Engaging Works, the former Managing Director of Waitrose, and the UK's former Minister of State for Trade. I've been delighted to support the Business Book Awards, and I'm sorry that I can't be with you tonight. But what I would like to do is to congratulate everybody who's been nominated and shortlisted. I'd like to congratulate in advance all of those that receive an award. I'd like to congratulate the authors, the publishers, the editors, all of those people who go to make great business books which help people have happier and more successful working lives. I'm delighted to say that all of the books shortlisted will be featured on the Engaging Works Business Library, and I wish you all a really successful and enjoyable evening. Thank you.
We had an incredible job to do to try and shortlist some really great books this year. Let's have a look at the shortlist.
The Leadership for the Future Book 2020 category finalists are Artificial Intelligence in Practice by Bernard Marr with Matt Ward, High Frequency Change by Tom Cheesewright, How to Lead Smart People by Aaron Singh and Mike Mister, No Bullshit Leadership by Chris Hurst, Rebel Ideas by Matthew Syed, and The Leader's Secret Code by Mark Ridley, Ian Mills, Ben Laker and Adam Pacifico.
The winner of the Highly Commended Book Award goes to Matthew Syed for Rebel Ideas. To write one book is an achievement, but to write 2 or 3, well, I mean, that's just a sign of greatness. From the minute we picked this book up, we couldn't help but keep turning the pages faster and faster. It is a compelling and gripping read that beautifully balances detailed research with insightful stories that just proves the point that the time for diverse thinking is now. Diverse thinking is the solution for leadership now and in the future. It's a really wonderful read that keeps answering the questions that we keep asking. So Matthew, congratulations on the Highly Commended Award. And the winner of the Leadership for the Future category for this year's Business Book Awards is Chris Hurst for No Bullshit Leadership. Honestly, when we picked this book up, we thought, is it a gimmick? Quite quickly we realised no, it is not. This book is refreshing in a way that is getting to the point of such crucial leadership challenges in such a simple and engaging way. It's rare to find a book that does this so beautifully. Yes, it's no bullshit, but it's also really elegant in its directness and uses beautiful stories to illustrate the points that Chris is making with this book. It's really for anyone. It's for the everyday leader, as Chris says. So you can pick up this book and be inspired to be a greater leader in the future, but it will also show you how to go about being that leader. It's also for seasoned leaders who maybe you've been leading for a while, but you need some new ways to frame how you look at your leadership. in no bullshit language, this does exactly what it says on the tin. It gets to the point of, and the heart really, of how to be a better leader. It's oozing with practicality, and it's a really beautifully produced book. Chris, so many congratulations on behalf of the leadership judges. Well done.
Good evening, everybody. I am absolutely thrilled, delighted, ecstatic, over the moon, whatever other cliche you want to use to have won this award. I don't think I've ever even been shortlisted for an award before, never mind won one. So this really is an extraordinary feeling. So thank you all. Thank you to anybody that's read my book, bought my book, and a special thank you to the people that voted for my book. And also want to say huge congratulations to everybody else who's entered, everybody who's been shortlisted, and frankly anybody who's ever even sat down and tried to write the first page of a book, never mind finish one. I want to say a huge thank you to Faye and Tracy from Havas, to Louisa from Profile Books, and to Andrew Gordon from David Heim for all of their hard work and support over the past couple of years. 2 years ago, when I sat down and started to write this book, I think the first words that I wrote were, "We need more better leaders everywhere." And little did I know how prescient those words were going to be 2 years on, when we find ourselves in the extraordinary circumstances of today. Those circumstances, of course, keeping us apart tonight, but I hope everybody's having a great evening. I hope everybody's got something delicious to drink. I know I certainly will have by this point in the evening. So have a great night. Thank you again. Stay strong. We'll get through it. And don't forget to wash your hands. Thank you very much.
The Business Self-Development Book 2020.
Good evening. I'm James Ashwood. I am the founder and CEO of the UK's leading fast growth business event, the Festival of Enterprise, and we are proud to support the Business Book Awards and the Business Self-Development category. Like a lot of small business owners, I'm at home at the moment, trying to make sense of this situation. We've taken the initiative at the Festival of Enterprise. Starting next week, we're running 5 days a week, rolling webinar, virtual conferences where we're inviting banks, governments, various experts on how to get through this situation. So get yourself over to festivalenterprise.co.uk and register so you'll get the updates. Now back to the Business Book Awards, and let's take a look at the shortlist.
The Business Self-Development Book 2020 category finalists are Achieve Your Business Vision by Alan Davidson, Add Then Multiply by David B. Horn, Against the Odds by John Burness, Provoke by Keith Jones and Tessa Sharp, Resilience by Joe Owen, and Simple Tips, Smart Ideas by Erica Wolf Murray.
The highly commended book is Resilience by Joe Owen. The judges chose to highly commend this book because they felt it was very concise and well written for simple reading. The strategies are supported throughout the book with good examples of implementation. All in all, a great book, which is very relevant in the current times, especially right now when we find ourselves in unprecedented territory and businesses are facing a number of issues.
It's Joe Owen here with big thanks to the Business Book Awards for recognising resilience in this way, and I guess this is what we all need lots of right now. I also want to give huge thanks to Eloise Cook, Richard Stagg and Amer Perek at Pearson and the whole team there for making this happen. Resilience has been a labour of love for me, so I'm personally absolutely delighted with this award. So at this time, stay positive, stay safe, and above all, thank you very much.
And the winner is Add Then Multiply by David B. Horn. The judges found this book to be an informative and well-written guide that highlights the experience of the author. Free from jargon, the book is accessible to anyone regardless of where they are on their business journey. The book uses humorous storytelling to reveal simple tools and structures and delivers on its promise, leaving readers wanting to engage further with the author. Congratulations to everyone this evening. Keep supporting each other. We'll all pull through this. Good night.
Hi everyone, it's David Horn, author of Add Then Multiply, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have won the Business Book Award tonight. I want to thank my wife Kate and my daughters Vicky and Mazzy for their support during the book writing process. It was absolutely fantastic. I wrote this book because I've got some experience that I think is really, really beneficial to the world of entrepreneurs, and I wanted to share it, and I have to say I've had the most amazing time since the book came out. It's been absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much. Cheers.
The Personal Development Book 2020.
Good evening. My name is Ralph Watson. I'm a Regional Director with Pathway to Grow. Pathway to Grow are proud to support the Business Book Awards and the Personal Development category, and I'm particularly pleased to be here this evening to announce the winner in the Personal Development category, because I am a professional coach, speaker and author, specifically in that field. In an ever-evolving business playing field, staying on top of your game has never been more important than it is now, and reading books can do so much to help that. It is key to an individual's personal development. It allows them to gain knowledge, develop new skills, and of course broaden their perspective by gaining other perspectives and new thinking. So now let's take a look at the shortlist.
The Personal Development Book 2020 category finalists are Be the Lion by Tim Castle, Offline by Imran Rashid and Soren Kenner, Physical Intelligence by Claire Dale and Patricia Payton, Positive Thinking by Neil Francis, The Rules of Thinking by Richard Templar, and The Speaker's Coach by Graham Shaw.
This is the point at which I feel I should be opening an envelope. The highly commended book is The Speaker's Coach by Graham Shaw. The judges chose to highly commend this book because, and I quote, "It's a cracking book with gems and nuggets on nearly every page. It's the quality of content that anyone who speaks or trains will keep on their desk for years. And I will be keeping it on my desk, I can assure you."
Hi, this is Graham Shaw here, the author of The Speaker's Coach, and it's an honour to receive this fantastic award. And I'd like to thank the judges and the organisers for all their hard work. And firstly, I'd like to also thank Eloise Cook of Pearson for her help in writing the book. She took me right through the process from start to finish. And of course, all the rest of the team at Pearson for their fantastic support. My wife Linda looked through many cartoons and drafts in the process of doing this, so thank her too. And also many people who kindly gave me feedback on the manuscript. I couldn't have written this book without the input of all those people that I've quoted in research, other authors, that sort of thing, and likewise all those people along the way who've taught me these skills. The reason I wrote the book is that in the short time it would take the reader to read it, they could gather many of the top secrets that I've learned in many years of public speaking. And finally, I'd like to wish all of the other authors every success in the future. Cheers!
The winner is Physical Intelligence by Claire Dale and Patricia Payton. The judges chose Physical Intelligence because they thought it was a brilliantly written book about the connection between the mind and the body. The authors are highly accomplished and have blended high quality research with practical techniques and an engaging writing style. The judges felt that Physical Intelligence is a highly credible book in a category that is increasingly important and relevant for business leaders and owners. So my personal congratulations to you all.
Hello everyone, it's Claire Dale and Patricia Payton here, authors of Physical Intelligence. There are so many people we'd like to thank. Our publishers, Simon & Schuster, our agent, Andrew Gordon, our business partners, Jane and Jonathan Trotman, the book publicists, our clients and colleagues all over the world, and most importantly, our husbands, Adam and John.
We wrote Physical Intelligence because even before the current crisis, in our coaching and training work around the world, we saw that people were struggling to cope with what has been a period of unprecedented change. They didn't understand that by strategically influencing the balance of certain key chemicals in our bodies and brains, we can achieve more, stress less, and live and work more happily. And they lack the techniques to actively manage their physiology in that way.
The body has been too far down on the list of priorities for too many people for too long. And yet we are miracles of intelligent design. We hope that through this book, Physical Intelligence can take its rightful place as the most important intelligence for the 21st century. Thank you very much indeed, Business Book Awards 2020. We are deeply honoured.
The Short Business Book 2020.
Good evening. I'm Ella Davidson. I'm founder of The Book Publicist, specialising in PR for non-fiction books and profiling the expert authors behind them. We're delighted to be the official PR partner for the Business Book Awards again. Now let's see the shortlist for the Short Business Book category.
The Short Business Book 2020 category finalists are Gold Rush 2020 by Phil Taylor Guck, Goodbye Glossophobia by Esther Stanhope, Is That Clear by Zane Gaynor and Catherine Elevios, Outstanding by Taruna Chauhan, The Innovator's Book by Dr. Max McEwen, and What's Your Point by Bruce M. McKinnon.
The highly commended book is Goodbye Glossophobia by Esther Stanhope. The judges chose to highly commend Goodbye Glossophobia because of its unusual slant on public speaking. This book looked at the fears behind public speaking and how we can overcome them. It offered options and scenarios so that anybody could take to the podium with confidence. Esther's book, her quirky writing style, as well as the full colour production of this book, made this one stand out to the audience.
Cheers! Thank you so much! Thank you! I can't believe I won this award. Hello, fellow isolated authors. I'm on my own here, but I feel like I'm with you right now. We're with each other in spirit. I am honoured to win this award. Thank you so much, the Business Book Awards 2020. And my name's Esther Stanhope. I'm the author of Goodbye Glossophobia, Banish Your Fear of Public Speaking. I just want to thank you. I want to thank anyone who's read my book. I want to thank Patrick for the amazing graphics, and look at the cover. I mean, that Goodbye Glossophobia cover. Thank you, Patrick at LMPP Design. Thank you to Filament Publishing and Kim Duke. If it wasn't for you, I never ever would have written this. And I wrote this because I was a nervous speaker. I mean, you look at me now and you think, you're not nervous. I was a nervous public speaker. And this book will help you if you are a nervous public speaker or you're nervous on camera. Now we're working from home, hey? If you want to work remotely, you've got to get good at speaking on camera. Read my book, it's full of tips. So listen, let's celebrate together virtually. And thank you so much. Have a really good night. Cheers!
Well done. The winner is Gold Rush 2020 by Phil Taylor Guck. Gold Rush is a timely book that makes strong, logical arguments for making gold part of your investment portfolio in times of uncertainty. The author clearly knows his audience well, and he preserves his authority for those readers who are well acquainted with the subject. It is also an excellent read for newcomers, and he presents a simple, non-threatening and inviting tone. Throughout, his arguments are well structured, maintain coherent logical flow, and he backs up those arguments with good references. The ability to take a potentially complex subject and write it well in a short book is remarkable.
Hi everyone, it's Phil Taylor-Gook here, the author of Gold Rush 2020. Thanks very much for the award. Love to thank Tina, my editor, for an amazing job. My friends and family for supporting me on it. It was those guys that made me go do it, and also the ones that supported me to write it. Apologies for the lack of black tie. I'm manic with work due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Thanks again everyone for your vote, and hopefully I'll win another one in the years to come. Cheers guys.
The Specialist Book 2020.
Good evening, my name's Martin Norbury and I'm one of the judges for the Specialist category. I'm also an author myself of the best-selling book I Don't Work Fridays. The Specialist Book category is supported by the Publishers Association. So now let's look at the shortlist.
The Specialist Book 2020 category finalists are Agile Strategy by Ralph Fernando, People Powered by John O'Bacon, Rage Inside the Machine by Robert Elliott Smith, Reinventing Retail by Ian Shepherd, The Business Analysis Handbook by Helen Winter, The Customer Success Pioneer by Kelly Lucas, and The Wealthy Retirement Plan by Vicky Vusha. Specialist Book 2020 highly commended book is Agile Strategy by Ralph Fernando.
Hi, my name is Ralph Fernando and I'm the author of Agile Strategy, How to Create a Strategy Ready for Anything. It's a great honour to receive this recognition. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you of course to my wife Marielle and my boys Lucas and Aaron for the support and patience that only a family can provide. Thank you as well to Pearson, my publishers, and to the network of colleagues, clients and friends who continue to challenge and enrich my thinking. Agile Strategy was written because a more dynamic age requires a more dynamic approach. In a time that is unprecedented in its use of the word unprecedented, there's never been a more important time for individuals, communities and organisations to learn to respond and adapt with more purposeful control. That is the goal of Agile Strategy. Feel free to contact me on LinkedIn to find out more, and thank you for the recognition.
And the winner is People Powered by John O'Bacon. So we chose this book because companies like Apple and Harley Davidson and Tesla all have great advocates. But Jono shows us why People Powered isn't just about great products, but how you engage, interact and bring your community closer. We found it to be an absolutely inspiring read and pragmatic about the collaborative power of the communities, and a must read for any institution looking to develop relationships. It stood out as a book for the global economy based on timeless practices, and based on where we are today and why we're doing this virtual award ceremony, I think Jono's book really does stand out. So congratulations, well done.
Hi everyone, this is John O'Bacon, the author of People Powered. I am thrilled to win the Specialist category in the Business Book Awards. Thank you so much to each of the judges and to the broader Business Book Awards team for putting on such a wonderful competition. I love how you shine the spotlight on so many fantastic authors and their books. And you know what, there was some pretty stiff competition in there, you know, when not just my category, but when I looked at the broader set of books submitted to the whole competition, I was like, whew. there's some corkers in there. So I'd encourage anyone who's watching this to go and check the other authors and their books out too. I wrote People Powered really for one main reason, and that's that throughout the course of my career, I've seen a consistent march towards communities, and unlocking the collaborative potential of your audience has been the future of how we build better businesses, better activism, and how we bring our own potential to the surface. The results are out there and proven. Companies like Fitbit, Salesforce, Sephora, Lego, Harley-Davidson, HackerOne, they've all built really powerful, productive, and engaging communities that their audiences love, and with a really strong retention. The tricky thing is that there really wasn't a business book that kind of unlocked this potential. So I wanted to write a book that, one, presents an overview of the value of this and where the future's going, two, provides a very pragmatic blueprint for how to build a community, and three, shows you how to integrate all of this into a business and get results. And I've been really thrilled with the response to People Powered so far, and this really is the cherry on the top for me. So before I wrap up, thank you to my publisher HarperCollins, my agent Margot Maley, of course my family, and probably most importantly to the thousands of fabulous community leaders all around the world who are spearheading this movement moving forward. So here's the thing, all right? Here's to each of you. I'm getting started, and I hope you're going to join me. Thank you.
The International Business Book 2020.
Good evening, I'm Daniel Priestley, the co-founder and CEO of Dent Global. Under the current situation, I'm especially proud to support the Business Book Awards, and tonight I'm presenting the category for Best International Book. Let's have a look at the shortlist.
The International Business Book 2020 category finalists are Alpha Girls by Julian Guthrie, $1 Billion Whale by Bradley Hope and Tom Wright, Flip the Script by Oren Klaff, Future Fit by Andrea Clark, Nincompoopery by John R. Brandt, Public Sector Marketing Pro by Joanne Sweeney, The End of Marketing by Carlos Gill, The Making of a Manager by Julie Chu, and The Master Plan by Chris Wilson with Brett Witter.
And the winner is Master Plan by Chris Wilson. The judges recognise that it's harder to do business when so much is stacked against you. For Chris Wilson, his business master plan wasn't a lifestyle choice, it was his survival plan. It not only saved him from homelessness, it also kept him out of jail and would enable him to employ and help others who were struggling as well, including his own son. The master plan is raw, honest, inspiring, and well told. It offers a new voice that shows that building a successful business is open to everyone, even people at the margins of society who think that it's not possible for them. Perhaps the future of business lies in enabling the neglected and untapped potential of the people who live at those margins. Hope is international, and Chris Wilson's message is truly universal and very much needed in these times. Congratulations, Chris.
Hi everyone, it's Chris Wilson here, author of The Master Plan. I am very sorry that I couldn't join you guys tonight. We are battling a very serious pandemic right now, and my prayers are with everyone who is suffering from this virus. It's a great honor to have won this award, and I would like to thank all of the judges and everyone at the Business Book Awards for choosing my book as the winner in the international category. I'm super excited. I would also like to thank Daniel Presley and all the folks at Dent for sponsoring this award. Looking at the short list, I was up against a very stiff competition, and I want to give a big shout out to my fellow authors. You guys are awesome. I wrote the master plan because I believe that my story would genuinely impact the lives of people struggling with things in their lives, and people who just wanted to do things differently and live their best lives. I wanted to convey the power of education, the power of resiliency, and the power of entrepreneurship. And so I also like to thank my publishers, all my folks at Scribe over in the UK, my publishers here in America, Putnam, Penguin Random House, specifically Mark Tavani. Also, I'd like to thank my agent, Peter over at Foundry Media, for just believing in my story and helping me tell it. And just, thank you again for this fabulous award. And I'm just so honored to receive it. Take it easy.
The exceptional book that promotes diversity 2020.
Good evening, everyone, and I too would like to welcome you to the Business Book Awards for 2020. Now, my local supermarket had run out of champers today. Now all the pubs, bars and restaurants have closed for obvious reasons, so my tipple tonight is a Roosters Baby-Faced Assassin Pale Ale. Cheers. Hopefully I'm not lowering the tone too much, so cheers everyone, and wishing you all the very best of health. Now, I'm Nadine DeRazer, I'm lead judge for this next category, and alongside my other two judges, Joel and Steve, we had the task of selecting a winner for an exceptional book that promotes diversity. And we are very grateful to Enterprise Nation for supporting the Business Book Awards, and specifically this category, in which we shortlisted some brilliant books that promote diversity in the widest sense. So let's take a look at the shortlist.
The exceptional book that promotes diversity 2020 category finalists are Building an Inclusive Organization by Stephen Frost and Rafi Karim Alidina. Closing the Gap by Teresa Bowie. Inclusive Design for Organizations by Professor Jonathan Hassel. Manage the Gap by Steve Butler. Power Up by Antoinette Dale Henderson. And The Corner Shop by Babita Sharma.
Now, before I announce the outright winner, we have selected a highly commended book in this category, and delighted to announce that this goes to Closing the Gap by Teresa Bowie. And we felt that if there was a book that was needed today to help businesses really start to get to grips with how to tackle inclusion, then this is it. It's easy to digest and follow to the point where anyone with an interest in inclusion would feel confident they could have a go at tackling this very important subject, particularly when the I in D&I is often overlooked or seen as too challenging. Now, the book takes a clear and concise approach using the tribe methodology, which gives the reader easy to digest information and very specific actions. Now, we feel that this book will provide SMEs in particular a much needed methodology to help close the gap. Congratulations, Teresa. Cheers.
Hi everyone, it's Teresa Bowie. I'm the author of Closing the Gap, 5 Steps to Creating an Inclusive Culture. It is a great honour that my book has achieved such tremendous recognition at the Business Book Awards. I'd like to thank my husband for his tremendous support, my dear friend Tim for his honest feedback and keeping me on course, Daniel Priestley for showing me the way, the team at Rethink Press, so Mike, Joe, Lucy and Verity for bringing my book to life, for everyone that's bought my book and read it, and of course to the judges. So why did I write the book? Well, in truth, leaders can no longer sit on the sidelines when it comes to diversity and inclusion. It's not a fad, it's not a tick box. However, the prospect of shifting a culture where perhaps there are ingrained biases and outdated mindsets can seem quite daunting. So Closing the Gap provides board directors and their leadership teams with a simple yet transformational framework, enabling them to create cultures where individuals feel truly valued and respected for their unique difference. So once again, I'm absolutely thrilled that my book has achieved such tremendous recognition. So thank you to everybody, and cheers. Here's to our good health and many thanks.
And the winner of an exceptional book that promotes diversity category is The Corner Shop by Babita Sharma. The Corner Shop reaches parts that no other books have attempted to do so in the past. It's an exceptional book that will help change the conversation and bring to life in a real, palpable way why the subject matter is so important, unlike many other academic and more drier books on the matter. Now, it's a social history / business book which is diverse in itself, and readers, I think, are more likely to finish this one cover to cover and as a result understand the subject matter better. Now, we're taken through the lens of what it really feels like to live in a diverse community but not made to feel included, and the impact this subsequently has on people in all walks of life. I think it's as relevant today as the time it was set in when Babita was growing up, and you live the experience through the author's words with the hairs standing up on the back of your neck when you're doing so. And as a result, it's both comfortable and uncomfortable to read, which I think is a good thing. And this book is exceptional and demonstrates the reason why diversity and inclusion is not a nice to have, it's a must. So the Corner Shop pushes boundaries of what we mean when we talk about diversity and manages to effortlessly bring to life through skilled storytelling that sets a very personal account of a lived experience against the backdrop of changes in retail that occurred in Britain throughout the author's own journey. It's easy to read, it's humorous, and made myself and my fellow judges feel very connected to the importance of real life diversity challenges. Many congratulations, Babita. Cheers.
Hello everyone, it's Babita here, and thank you so much to the judges for honouring my book, The Corner Shop. It really means so much to me, and I really want to thank the brilliant, dedicated team at Two Roads, in particular my publisher Kate Hewson and Kate Craigie for their unconditional support, to Rory Scarf, my literary agent, for sharing the vision for this book from the very beginning, and I want to dedicate this award to my mum and dad, shopkeepers for more than 20 years who taught this corner shop kid the value of hard work and determination. That's my baby in the background. And I also wanted to say that, you know, we're going through really difficult times at the moment, and never has it been more apparent than now the lifeline that the corner shops are giving to communities up and down the country. So to them and to all of you, cheers. Thank you very much.
The Business Book of the Year 2020 finalists are How to Have a Happy Hustle by Beck Evans, Your Business, Your Book by Ginny Carter, Boards by Patrick Dunn, The Human Edge by Greg Orme, No Bullshit Leadership by Chris Hurst, Add Then Multiply by David B. Horn, Physical Intelligence by Claire Dale and Patricia Payton, Gold Rush 2020 by Phil Taylor Guck, People Powered by John O'Bacon, The Master Plan by Chris Wilson with Brett Witter, and The Corner Shop by Babita Sharma.
Hello! This is an extraordinary night in so very many ways, and although I really wish we were celebrating together, I'm full of admiration for the ThinkFest team for stepping up so magnificently to the challenge and creating this fabulous live stream event, so well done to you all, and it's great to be here. I would also like to thank our superb category judges for taking on such a tough job over the last couple of months. From the intense focus of the shortlisting day back in January, through all the detailed reading and the passionate debates of the last few weeks, you have brought different, diverse perspectives. You've helped me look at books in a new way, and you have simply been a joy to work with, so thank you very much. And of course, my personal thanks to the truly wonderful Lucy Macara for inviting me to be head judge for these groundbreaking awards she founded, and for all her support. One of the many things that's extraordinary about this extraordinary evening is that, for reasons that you now understand, your head judge wasn't able to fulfil all her head judgy obligations this year. When I learned that Ginny Carter had won her category with Your Business, Your Book, which was published by Practical Inspiration, I was absolutely delighted, of course, but it did put me in rather an awkward position as far as deciding on the Business Book of the Year went. So my final thanks go to Matt Thomas, who stepped brilliantly up to the plate and took on the incredibly difficult task, trust me, of selecting the overall winner from that superb list of category winners that you've already seen this evening. Matt, I more than anybody know just how tough that job is, so I'm hugely grateful to you, thank you. And I'm going to hand the live stream baton over to Matt in a moment so that he can explain why he selected this title. But as head judge, time for the champagne, it is my great pleasure and privilege to announce that the winner of the Business Book of the Year 2020 is The Human Edge by Greg Orme. Congratulations, Greg, and over to you, Matt.
Warm congratulations to Greg Orme and The Human Edge, a worthy winner of the Business Book Awards Book of the Year for 2020. It was incredibly hard to select one book from all the incredible high caliber winners of their categories, who were all supreme examples of how to execute a book with real intent for their respective audiences. However, what I felt about The Human Edge was that it really addressed a need that is relevant to anybody in any walk of life, in any industry, particularly now. The Human Edge shows us how in periods of time and challenge and technological advancement, how we as humans have a role to play. It shows us how to not just survive, but thrive, and to embrace those very human, innate human qualities of consciousness, curiosity, creativity and collaboration, and dispels the notion that change and uncertainty should be feared, and that instead we should look inside to find new ways to work, new ways to value ourselves, and most importantly, new ways to contribute to the world that we all share and build in the future. And for me, right now, that is incredibly relevant, incredibly important, and it was a beautiful book that I think that I've been very proud and privileged to have read and contributed towards it being named the Business Awards Book of the Year. Congratulations, Greg. Congratulations, everybody. What a great thing this is.
So there we have it, the winners of the Business Book Awards 2020 and our amazing winner of Business Book of the Year. Congratulations to all of you and to all the shortlisted authors and every entrant. You are all winners and your books are going out into the world and doing amazing things. The Business Book Awards 2021 will be open for entries in September this year, and the deadline will be the 31st of December 2020. So if you want a chance to be one of next year's winners, you still have time to write and publish your business books. Thanks for being here and supporting us. We appreciate each and every one of you and hope we can get together in person before too long. Good night from the Business Book Awards 2020.